Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave. Today we are starting the Dutch cruiser line here at Tier 4. Obviously, we only do Tier 4 and above because before that, you're really only going to be in a ship for one or two matches. So today, today the build and play guide is going to be on Celebes. I'm slaughtering that. I know I am. That being said, we're using a Johann Firstner. This does not have airstrikes, so this is a commander I use for no airstrikes. We're using Makawa and Swirsky so we can sneak up. Alright, this ship is pretty good with its detectability and can catch some people off guard. Uh, and also I have to use this for other ships as well. So, Minister of Navy is his base trait, along with Burn It Down XXL and a Look at Me Now. Now, you could honestly take Igniter if you wanted here. It wouldn't be a bad transition. In fact, you could actually take maybe Mbeli and Kuzganov here if you really wanted to. But we're taking Risk Theory in our third and fourth slot, fixated with our last one being Refill Station. For your upgrades, we're taking Aiming Systems Mod 1, and then I took the Targeting System, then the Artillery upgrade, and then the Hull upgrade. Kind of the order that I always generally do stuff for the most part. And then for your combat loadout here, guys, as you can see, we have sonar. It is a 4 kilometer, so it's not too bad for the tier, but again, nothing too crazy. Catapult fighter as well, kind of your basic tier 4 stuff. 26,000 health, but that can be taken away very quickly. It does have 8 150 millimeter guns, making us a light cruiser, and I can assure you it is a light cruiser in every sense of the way. It reloads every 8.1 second, has a decent fire chance. Actually, you could get that up to 16 if you took Igniter as well. And the AP is good. Now, these guns are very underrated so far. I played a bunch of the line, and a lot of the guns seem to be underrated, especially when they become heavy cruisers. So just remember that you do not have torpedoes or airstrikes, guys, yet in this line. You will have airstrikes later on, but right now you're limited to the main guns, and that's really what you have, and a pretty abysmal AA defense. And the maneuverability is not bad on this ship at all, but the concealment, as you can see, 8.2, you can get up close and personal, which is good because it doesn't have terrible range, but it don't have the world's best range either. For our stats, you can see we're doing okay in it. Nothing spectacular. For tier 4, 50,000 a match is pretty solid. Armor. This is a glass citadel, like we talk about, right? When a battleship overmatches your entire ship, right? But your citadel, basically, that's what I call a glass citadel because you don't have much protection. You do not want to be you if you can, don't take hits in it because honestly, this isn't going to protect you. Wait, where is it? Your side plating, that is not going to protect you, right? You take that off, that's your citadel underneath that, and that's just 16 millimeters, meaning anything over a heavy cruiser goes through. In fact, in this ship, let's go back to the armor really quick. You have a 13 millimeter bow and stern, and your citadel is right behind it. Which meaning anything that's over anything of 186 millimeters or above, so every heavy cruiser can go right through your bow in this. Just so you guys know, you have to be careful about getting hit in this. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. Now, with that out of the way, guys, we're at Scandinavia. And to be honest, I cut the beginning out a little bit because this is not the playstyle that you have to play this ship, guys, is not wonderful. It's not super exciting. It's not glamorous, right? You're not going to be able to brawl. You have no tools to brawl with this, right? You have a sonar, but you don't have torps. You don't have armor. You don't really have much. And what you got to do is get yourself undetected and do your best to stay there behind an island and burn stuff down. And you can see how lobby the shells are at 13 kilometers. The AP is okay, but the problem with the AP is you're in a light cruiser that lobs shells, right? Unless you're super close to something, it's not going to pen a lot. Now, you'll get damage with it, but if you're going, you might as well be going for fires with the perks that this commander has, and it does have a decent fire chance, and we're not even building into fire, really. That's one thing about the ship, I would say, guys. You're going to play this one to get through it. It is a very... In some ways, the guns are decent, don't get me wrong. But in some ways, while this ship isn't bad, there's nothing that sticks out to it. It's a tier 4 light cruiser that you're trying not to get murdered in, and you hope battleships do not shoot at you, right? That's like the big thing. As you can see, we already have New Mexico on fire. The good thing is with this ship and its playstyle, the lobby shells, you can see you can lob pretty easy. Even at 12 kilometers, we're lobbing the side of a mountain relatively easy. And at this tier, you're going to be able to get a lot of fire damage because a lot of people are going to go ahead and damage con one fire. So you might as well go that way, that route, and kind of play into it. Now, if you do get broadsides close up, I would say within maybe 7 kilometers on another cruiser, you can absolutely shred them with the AP. The AP, there's nothing wrong with it. It's light cruiser AP, right? In lobby, light cruiser AP has a tendency to kind of struggle as we do finish off the Brenta. I always pronounce that wrong, but not too worried. You guys aren't here for that. See, I keep getting spotted, and that's a little bit of an issue for me. You see, I'm just going to keep adjusting to that. And you have really good detection, so if you're in trouble, just stop shooting. You'll be okay, right? Unless there's a destroyer right by you, then you also, if you're still spotted at E2, you definitely should pop your sonar. Like, for some people will be watching this relatively new to the game, so some of that stuff I'll have to be explaining. Just like with this HE, a lot of times you want to be in the superstructure, that top part above the hull, that kind of the place where all the people have a tendency to be, right? Or it looks like, right? Even though there's a lot of them in the hull. If Fubuki gets himself spotted, we're going to obviously focus on the destroyer when we see him. But you'd see that one of them shells basically took half my health. You have to be very careful. Try to keep yourself unspotted in this ship. And if you play a lot of cruisers, it'll come kind of natural to you. But if you get one good player against you and you're not paying attention, even at tier 4, this ship, as you can see, will not last long. But you can see we've done a pretty good job to this point. We're putting a decent little hurting on the enemy team. At tier 4, a solid game, 40, 50,000 already right off the gate. So we're doing okay. The big thing is like I said, in this ship, you don't have a lot of tools. You have a sonar. That's basically it. And outside of that, you're trying to keep yourself undetected. Use that 8-2 detection to go in between mountains when you do need to move. Now, the reason I chose this game is this is what's going to be what a lot of your games look like in this thing, right? I played pretty aggressive with it early on, and that's why my win rate is 57%. To be fair, it should have been a little bit lower. Did I have a couple good games that way? Yeah, but I wouldn't be too aggressive in this ship. It's not even an aggressive player like me. This is something I would be very careful in. And basically, you're just trying to get through it. Is it a bad ship? No. It just can be tough to play. If you get a bunch of battleships that keep themselves spotted against you, yeah, you can absolutely do something. But, and they and cause a problem. But I can tell you, it has a lot of weaknesses. All right, you can't get hit by a battleship or heavy cruiser. It hurts. Even when you angle the ship, which you think you can angle the belt on it, you could get lucky, but that stuff all above is all overmatchable. So that comes down right into your citadel. As you can see, that one shell, we got hit by two, but one was an overpin. One shell basically murdered us, right? Half of our health. So you gotta be careful in this ship, and play smart. And you're not gonna be able to carry in this ship. If you get lucky and you're up against some people that are maybe new to the game, you can get away with a lot. But this is not something when you're up against other good players that you can carry in. You're reliant on your team spotting, as you can see we've been the whole time. And you're gonna find a spot and basically chill. And that's, I hate to say that, but that's really the play style I feel for this ship until later on when this line gets a little bit better. You can see I'm kind of trying to track down the destroyer here, and then Fuso gets himself spotted, and we're gonna focus now on the Fuso for a little bit. Because he's trying to flank us, and that would get us bad. Also, you can see the destroyer now. I know where he is because of the carrier. So I am being real careful now. But we want to kind of get in a kiting position. If you're getting charged, get turned and kite in this thing. You can dodge with it. You just don't want to get them too close in, like at 9 kilometers. Now, if you get really close to a battleship, right? Broadside is best side in this thing. You will get overpinned a lot if you're up close. You can get away with stuff that you probably shouldn't. But I would not live on that, guys, right? The right player is going to wait till you're either past them or angled slightly and then depth strike you. So you do have to be careful, as we're going to go ahead and burn down the best we can on the Fuso. And then also we're paying attention because there's a carrier next to us, so we're trying to keep our carrier alive, but there's not much we can do about that, right? And it is a close battle, a very close battle. So it's a good game, but I can tell you, you're gonna have games where you come out, you get 10,000 damage, and somebody probably smokes you, right? You're going to have that. I mean, it's just like Omaha, and a lot of them other, tier 4 cruisers. You're going to have some rough games in this. Again, it's not a bad ship. It's a tier 4 light cruiser. You have a Citadel that can get hit easy, and there's not much you can do about it as our carrier is getting mauled. But you can see we're doing a pretty good job of getting rid of Fuso. And you always in this ship want to be looking at everything. Right? I am keeping an eye on the Tiger, because if Tiger shoots at me, I'm probably going back to port right now, right? Like, that's the one thing, is we get a high caliber. A tier 4 to get 100,000 damage is pretty solid, right? Now, our destroyer is getting his butt kicked, and so we're going to try to get over and help him, but we got to finish off this Fuso first, because he's kicking our carrier's butt. In any moment, he could kick our butt, so we got to get him gone so we can work on the destroyer now. But, right now, close game, very obviously winnable, because we had the Fuso almost dead, right? So we should win this game in theory, but even with what I'm doing here, 110,000 damage in a high cal, you're going to see how tough this is here at the end, for me to try to carry this match. As you can see, now the Tiger is actually flanking as well now, and our destroyer went down, so we're going to do our best to get rid of this destroyer. Now this is the one handy thing. We'll take a shot in there. It is pretty accurate for the most part for a tier 4. We're going to pop our sonar here and charge this smoke, because if we're going to have any chance of winning this, we cannot, we can't have a destroyer taking all our caps. We have to defend this cap and get rid of this destroyer. And that's exactly what we're going to try to do here. Now, I do get spotted. I thought it was the battleship coming around the corner. It wasn't. He popped out of his smoke, and we're going to let him know probably not the best idea. He should have probably just left. As you can see here, torps are coming, so we go ahead and change our direction. And we do move up there, and we're going to get him with our sonar. So sonar coming in clutch here, and is finished off. We defend the cap, but now we're in a pretty poor position. It's only me and the carrier now, and there's a full health battleship behind me. But at this point, I realize, hey, we have the points, we have the cap. There's only 3 minutes left. There's not... If I run away right now with my detection, we can win. And even now, we could still win, right? Because we have two caps. The problem is you have no AA here. And you're going to see here, I just get absolutely obliterated by this carrier. And there's not much I can do. And to be honest, it's okay. Not every ship has to be the best ship in the game. I'm glad they added a ship that wasn't overpowered. It feels like every time they add a ship lately, or a tech tree line, it seems super powerful in a lot of ways, but you can see not much I could do against that carrier. I was definitely going to be going down, but I did try to help our team win 120,000 in a cruiser at tier 4, top of leaderboard. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.